Thank you for tuning in. I'm here with a good friend of mine, and he has an organization that is quickly growing in the Memphis area. I want you to introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Twione Sesley, founder of Just Love Memphis. Great organization dealing with my youth, at-risk youth, and I'm just trying to pour back into Memphis.
Okay.
Love my city.
Okay. What's the purpose of Just Love Memphis? So you're not talked over some time. What motivated you to say I need to do this?
What motivated me to say that was growing up, like I said, a native Memphian in Orange Mountain in the 70s and 80s. I've been in the street life. I've seen it. I've done it. Seen friends go to jail. Seen the drugs, and I've always felt, man, like I said, I had a praying grandmother and mother. Not saying other people did, but I guess I was chosen for a purpose.
Right.
So my thing was, after I went off to school and came back, I noticed that the community was still declining, and called myself joining the police department in '98 to make a difference. And I really understood then it wasn't just Orange Mountain.
Right.
It was Whitehaven, North Memphis, South. It was the whole
The
Memphis
city,
area,
the
the
city.
city in
Right.
itself.
Right.
So I always vowed to just make a difference, man. You know, I made a difference in a negative way,
Right.
which I'm proud of my bringing up because it enabled me now to go in and speak with people
Right.
with no fear to be authentic with them.
Right. I was going to ask you about that because being a local Memphis and in law enforcement, you've seen both sides, so you know, like you said, it's not just about the police department. It's about the community first because that's where it starts.
Yes, with the community, you know, back in our days growing up, you know, your neighbors knew each other.
Right.
So when we said community or community recovery, like you said, it's not about the police. It is, but it isn't.
Right.
We got to get back to raising our own community. They say it takes a village.
Right.
That's really true. So again, I've seen it from both sides. I speak to people throughout the 20-something years being law enforcement, and I always tell them, we got to take back our babies. I call them our babies, community, what do you want to call them. We got to take back the community. If you see something going on, it's not being a snitch. If you want your community, you got to get back into your community, sow back into it. You see something going on, report it. You're a citizen.
Right. Because we're caught into that. I'm thinking of the guy Charleston White. He speaks about he did his time in the streets, but he's a law-abiding citizen. He says, so if I tell it, I'm not a snitch, and he's right. I'm law-abiding. If you're a law-abiding citizen, if you see something in your neighborhood, that's your job to report it.
And see, I like Charles White. I've been following him for some time, and I actually took something from him that he always say. When I go out there and talk to kids, the first thing, you know, we hear the snitches get stitches.
Right.
We've been hearing this since we was growing up.
Right.
So like I had, one thing I do with the kids, I'll tell them, okay, because you got to make it personal with anybody. So I would tell them, if you're involved in an accident and your little sister or brother hurt, police come on the scene, and they ask you what's going on. I said, what are you going to say? Well, I'm going to tell them what happened. I said, so you're going to snitch. So I catch them, they kind of confused. I said, it's not snitching, it's called telling what happened.
Right.
So like you said, and Charles White said, if you see something going on, report it.
Right. Now, let me ask you, and we spoke about this earlier off camera. How important is mentoring?
Mentoring is very important. Statistics show 78% of your serious crimes, when you have an effective mentor,
Right.
or involved daily mentor often,
Right.
it goes down 78% than their peers.
Right.
So the mentoring is very important because we have a lot of organizations that brings people together for a service, but after the service, it's over.
Right.
There's no more continuation with the mentor. So the mentorship is very important.
Okay. It is Just Love. Is mentoring a part of your program that extends further than just like you said?
Yes, that's the majority of our program. That's the difference because it's a lot of mentors, and not every program helps.
Right.
But the difference that sets us apart is that we got that wraparound service that we're talking about now, that when we finish with the curriculum or whatever it is, we want to walk one-on-one with that baby. We want to stay in touch with them, you know, throughout their careers and lives, you know, if they're willing to stay in touch as well. Because again, we bring them together for a service, but after it's over, that's it. No, we want to stay in touch with them because I know it works.
Right, because you use the term 20 for 30. That's a powerful statement you said. Explain that.
Yeah, 20 for 30, what I call it is, again, when I'm talking to my guys, group of guys, but like I said, Just Love Memphis is girls and boys.
Right.
But you know, as it is, the guys being the leaders, I do more guy talk than girls. But the 20 for 30 is, you may do something that take 20 seconds that'll cost you 30 years of your life. Just in 20 seconds. So we gotta think before we react. A lot of times we react before we think, and then you look up in a situation that we wish that we just took a little time to think, we probably could have just solved the conflict and back out of it.
You made a comment about communication, effective communication. Kind of break that down for me again.
Yeah, because we can communicate, but is it effective?
Right.
So just because we sitting up here now talking, is it going to be effective, or are we just talking? It's like I tell some of my students when I work with them, you could be in motion. No, you could be in motion, but are you moving? And they like, what do you mean, Mr. Sesley? I'm like, okay, you moving, you're in motion, but what's your destination? So it's like with Just Love. I know my mission, I know my destination, I know my purpose. And my whole mission and my purpose, well, I call it my why. My why is to save lives of these, and I mean physically save lives as well, you know, through effective mentorship.
Right.
Because, again, if it's not effective, then we just talking. And that's why I say I thank God that I can go from being on both sides. I can go into communities, I can go places, because I've been that child, I've been that guy. You know, I partnered with the other organization that I work with called More Hugs and Slugs with Pastor Lopez running code. And we talked to gang guys, been there, done it. So again, growing up in Orange Mountain, I guess this is my purpose of, like I've seen a lot of friends get killed, go to jail. And I was right there with them, not ashamed of it, happy with my story. But I think, well, I know this is my purpose. So again, I'm going to put all the effort I got in this, you guys, to try to save these babies. And anybody, again, that want to help, you can donate again. You can go to the website, www.justlovememphis.com, or you can reach us at info@justlovememphis.org. Telephone number again is 901-480-6411. We love the support because, again, it's going to take a village.
Right.
I can't do it by myself. Me and Terry can't do it by ourselves. More Hugs and Slugs.
Okay.
It deal more gang side. But
Right.
all of it, it doesn't matter. Even when I look at all the organizations out there now.
Right.
When God gave me this Just Love, it's universal. Everybody doing whatever they doing. It should be
Right.
in the name of Just Love.
Right.
Not the organization itself, but Just Love.
Right.
Like
right.
I said, spoke to you earlier off the camera, and I was telling about how people kept telling me to, well, go black with it, go this, go that. It's
Right.
more money. I'm not about the money.
Right.
Any organization or anything that's functioning is understood
Right.
that it needs money.
Right.
We always say it's common sense, but one of my slogans is common sense just ain't common. And I'm just not offending nobody.
Right.
But I'm just saying, don't come to me talking about money.
Right.
First thing out your mouth.
Right.
Now we can get a plan together for money to make the organization function.
Right.
And now let's focus on what's at hand.
Right.
So again, like I said, the More Hugs and Slugs, we deal with the at-risk youth. And let me say this right quick too, Ted, because we had this other conversation about this.
Mm-hmm.
When people hear at-risk youth, they think it's automatic a bad kid. That's not what makes it at risk.
Right.
Got a friend of mine, niece was found up for adoption.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's back with the family now,
Right.
straight A student.
Right.
That's an at-risk child.
Right.
Because her car, there had to be some drama that she went through,
Right.
a trauma.
Not being stable. Yeah.
So at any point, that's an at-risk child. Don't
Right.
mean she gotta be bad.
Right.
So I just wanted to clear it up when people hear at-risk youth. It's like a lot of them scared to mess with their child. No,
Yeah.
that should draw you further to the child.
Right. They don't understand. It's not that this child has a track record of doing anything wrong. It's the situation that the child is put in. Again, they can go through depression. They can act out because
Yeah,
they're
we
not
call it ACEs,
Right.
adverse child symptoms.
Right, because they're not in stable homes. Because
Exactly.
very few
And all this
children-
part of ACEs.
Right, very few
adverse
kids are
child
raised
abuse.
up in,
Yeah.
well, a lot of them are raised up in single parent homes, so that has a lot to do with it too. So definitely on that, You're right. I never thought of it that way, but you know, because I always think of the problem is if the child has a problem. Many people think when you say at risk, they're thinking they toting guns or they fighting in school. It's like, nah,
Because think about it, you know, again, being in the school system now too as a behavior specialist, I've witnessed this. And you'll have a child get out the car. Now think about it, I'm gonna play it back for you. You'll have a child that wake up, probably hearing all the curse words in the world. They get in the car, and then they get dropped off. You have a nice day.
right.
They've been cursed out since they woke up.
Right.
But you want them to go have a nice day? I hear this all the time.
Right.
And like I said, I can speak on it because I've been there some. I'm not gonna get me wrong.
Right.
But I love my mom to death. All heads off to her. Again, this is how this was even started.
Right.
The just love, because she put that in the seed in me, because I was complaining to her about something else.
Right.
And she's like, baby, it's all just love. And then something else we talked about too, I'm glad you brought it back to my remembrance. What we talking about now is what is called the age effect.
Right.
See, that's another part of just love. The age effect, it shows that crime, serious crime, are committed from the ages of 8 to 24. And it's not ceasing or stopping until 24 to 40. That's when but they call it the age effect. So that vital time from 8 years old up until 24, that's when all your major crimes happen.
Right.
And it doesn't cease or slow until 24 to 40 years of age. So just look at all the stuff that's going on. Now you're gonna rarely see a 40-year-old cutting up. It's gonna be between that 15 to that 24.
Right.
You know, it
Yeah,
happens.
within that time, he's gonna be going in and out of the system, and you know, some of them don't clean up, but like you said, most of them just still after being 24, they come out, they have no job skill, they don't, you know, most of them go back to the streets, not understanding. That's what got them there.
But see, even to get deeper in that though, Terry, what do we do? Think about it. You want Chris to put the bag down, but Chris mom on crack, dad locked up. You don't know what Chris dealing with in the house. But we just quick to want them to jump right, but we have nothing to offer them.
Right. You have to see, well, there has to be programs in place. There has to be programs.
Yeah, so again, that's why I say every program out here, I'm thankful for every program that's trying.
Right.
I just want every program motive to be right.
Right.
When I mean motive, of course, you know, the kids, but don't let it be squarely focused on money.
Right. I definitely agree with you. But look, great interview. I want people to reach out to you. We already gave information, and we'll put it back on the screen at the end. Thank you for sitting down with us. Great conversation, and I'll be actually at whatever events you got coming up. Let us know so we can start documenting and sending out so we can get everybody to follow the page. Please donate. In closing, I'll let you close it out.
In closing out again, y'all, let's pour back into these babies, because that's the only way it's going to get better. Let's not talk to them, listen to them. A lot of times we talk at them instead of talk to them.
Right.
So again, listen what they got to say. It may not be what we're used to, because it's a different time. So listen to what the kids are saying, y'all, and just do your part. I tell everybody, just do your part.
All right, definitely, man. Thank you once again. This is Mr. Sesley with Just Love Memphis, and we're signing out. Thank y'all so much.